Allah Imla, Alahaina Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Yamashiach, Wamalakia, Bahashim, Harwa, Bakakurash, Barakatham, the water by Babal, Wakwam, Yasharala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach us daily. To the men out there teaching a likewise doctrine, I say Shalom. So, like it for my voice once again, I'm doing this early. Well, it's not early in the morning, but I just got up. So forgive my voice, it's a little raunchy, but we're gonna get through it. Drink some of this water. Okay. Now, this video that we're doing today is about how the government operates. How basically Esau tells on himself when he's about to start something with another country. First, he'll just come out the blue with some lies, just for no reason. Just like when he got back in office for the second term, how Denmark just came up in the conversation for no reason. Like how Canada just came up for no reason. And the biggest thing was how he started the trade war. It just came out the blue. He just got up on the podium and said, you know what? I think these countries have been treating us unfairly. See, that's called setting up the lie. And they're going to elaborate on the lie and put more lies. They're going to attach more lies onto the original lie. Now, there's a thing amongst the Israelites where you other nations should beware of Esau, because guess what? If he's talking about you, he's thinking about you. And if he's thinking about you, he's thinking about how to take your shit. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have his attention. You see what I'm saying? So they set the lie up and then they just add lie on to lie like a train. And then they just take your shit. It's the same playbook. They did this in Panama before. They tried to do this in Cuba with the Cuban Missile Crisis. And as you can see, they doing it with Venezuela and Nigeria. And there's other countries they have done this too. Matter of fact, your man, what's his name? Osama bin Laden. They turned him into the bad guy when he originally worked for the CIA. Uh, who else? Saddam Hussein. They turned him into a bad guy, demonized him, lied on him, just so they can go over there and take his shit. Afghanistan in general, weapons of mass destruction, really, George Bush? But they only went over there to seize poppy fields to make dope they call opioids to get you addicted to some chemicals. Same old playbook with these people. That's why it says in Sirach chapter 12, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. But let's go ahead and grab the video. Let me get this copyright disclaimer real quick. Still here. All right. And it reads, copyright disclaimer, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips to balance on fair use. Go ahead and grab it. Name of this video, it sounds familiar, same old playbook from Esau. And he's absolutely right.
With Venezuela, now that we've seized this tanker, is the campaign?
You didn't seize anything, you stole it. Let's be clear.
Campaign against Venezuela still just about drugs, or is it now also about oil?
Well, it's about a lot of things, but one of the things it's about is the fact that they've allowed millions of people to come into our country from their prisons, from gangs, from drug dealers, and from mental institutions.
See, this is what you call deflection. This man well, he wants to be a master at deflection, but he's not, because deflection is always effective when you don't know this man is deflecting. If it's obvious that you're deflecting, your tactics are exposed. Now he blaming all this shit. It's their fault why we still in their oil. Really? See, he gonna lie like a motherfucker, because that's all this man does. This man has been compromised. He has sold you out to the Israeli government. And his job is to destroy this country. His job is to create chaos, because he is the son of perdition. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's get it. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there coming the falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. What does perdition mean? Perdition means chaos, anarchy, destruction, and everything associated with it. This man is here to start a war as a distraction in order to try to seek out the Lord's elect. While all this smoke is in the air from the war, they're going to be looking for the Lord's elect. This is what all this is about, but they don't believe. You believe something coming to kick your ass if you're willing to destroy your own kingdom. Yeah, you believe something's coming to whoop that ass, and that something or someone is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So yeah, that's their job. Basically nothing's the United States' fault. So what he's saying here is, yes, it's their fault that we're stealing their oil, because we want it, and nothing's ever our fault, because we are superior. How dare you question us about stealing this country's oil? This is Esau's spiritual attitude.
Proportionately more than anybody else. They came in from many countries. We're getting them out. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Many.
See, first of all, he just pulled that number out the air. Number two, that number is not realistic whatsoever unless you're talking about the original domestic terrorists, you Edomites, because you Edomites are not from this land. You Edomites are the original terrorists, foreign and domestic. Look at your numbers. They kill me trying to blame their crimes on other countries, on other nations, but don't even acknowledge the wickedness of their own people. This is why Esau is going to be destroyed, him and his whole nation. And ain't nobody going to miss their lying asses, thieving asses, murderous asses. Same playbook, lies, theft, murder.
Them are from Venezuela. We had thousands of Tren de Aragua, the gang, come in from, which they say is the most.
But nothing is said about the original murderers, the KKK. Nothing. They started the shit. And to this day, they are not recognized by the government as a terrorist organization. They are recognized as an actual church with 501c3 and the whole shit. So yeah, they ignore their own death, violence, and destruction. They ignore their own murder. Everybody else are the murderers, says the original murderer.
Violent gang, I don't know. MS-13 is pretty bad. but Tren de Aragua, they say, is the most violent gang that comes from the prisons of Venezuela. It came out of the prisons of Venezuela.
And who came out of the Caucasus Mountains? Murdering. Who came out of Mount Seir, Mount Petra? Murdering. That's being said. It's always lies on somebody else.
So it has to do with a lot of things. They've treated us badly, and I guess now we're not treating them so good. If you look at the drug traffic by sea is down 92%.
You can't prove that because it's a lie. How would you prove that when all the evidence is destroyed? So-called. There's no evidence because there's no drugs, because these are not drug dealers. These are fishermen. But see, Esau needs something to lie on to justify his wickedness. That's the play.
And nobody can figure out who the 8% is, because I have no idea. Anybody getting involved in that right now is not doing well. And we'll sort that on land too. It's going to be sorting on land pretty soon.
See, that's him. That's how he tells you he's about to invade their land and steal their oil. Now, this was done. This is George Bush Sr. addressing the Panama Canal situation way back when he was president. Listen to this bullshit.
2 years, the United States, the nations of Latin America and the Caribbean have worked together to resolve the crisis in Panama, to combat drug trafficking, and to protect the integrity of the Panama Canal Treaty. Many attempts have...
So you other countries beware. If the United States accuses you of dealing drugs, they come in and take your resources. This is how they set up the lie. And they're going to add on to the lie and add on to the lie and add on to the lie until they feel like it's time to come and take your shit.
Been made to resolve this crisis through diplomacy and negotiations. All were rejected by the dictator of Panama, General Manuel Noriega.
When they call you a dictator, when they call you a terrorist, or when they accuse you of something they're actually doing, you better look out, other nations. Because Esau, if he's talking about you, he's thinking about you. And if he's thinking about you, he's thinking about how to take your shit.
An indicted drug trafficker. Last Friday, Noriega declared his military dictatorship to be in a state of war with the United States. That was enough. As president, I have no higher obligation than to safeguard the lives of American citizens. And that...
Oh yeah, they're going to throw some freedom up in there. They're going to throw some safety. It's for the safety. Yeah, when they say peace and safety comes sudden destruction. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. They're going to blame peace, safety. They're going to call you a terrorist. They're going to call you a drug dealer. They're going to call you a dictator. They're going to call you everything but a child of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And then they're going to come and take your shit.
That's why I directed our armed forces to protect the lives of American citizens in Panama and to bring General Noriega to justice in the United States.
Well, who's going to bring Donald Trump to justice and all his flunkies? Because it's obvious that the ICC is useless. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring these fuckers to justice.
At this moment, U.S. forces, including forces deployed from the United States last night, are engaged in action in Panama. The brave Panamanians elected by the people of Panama in the elections last May, President Guillermo Endara and Vice Presidents Calderon and Ford, have assumed the rightful leadership of their country. Well, the United States today recognizes the democratically elected government of President Endara. I will send our ambassador back to Panama immediately. Key military objectives have been achieved. Most organized resistance has been eliminated. But the operation is not over yet. General Noriega is in hiding. And nevertheless, yesterday, a dictator ruled Panama. And today, constitutionally elected leaders govern. I have today directed the Secretary of the...
I think they put a coup down in Panama, too. They're always putting coups. when they start crying about regime change, they mean they want to take the real president out. They want to take Maduro out of Venezuela. And they want to put in a puppet that's going to do everything the United States says, even giving Venezuela's oil to the United States and shitting on the Venezuelans. That's what puppets do. That's what coups do. So if they can't convince Maduro, they give us the oil, bro. They're gonna start crying for regime change. Hey, we need to put a puppet down there that's gonna do our bidding on behalf of the billionaires, not on behalf of the people of Venezuela. And then if that don't work, they're going all guns, just like they're doing now. It's gonna come take it.
Treasury to lift the economic sanctions with respect to the democratically elected government of Panama, and in cooperation with that government, to take steps to effect an orderly unblocking of Panamanian government assets.
We have got to the...
Let's come out of this. Now, y'all notice at the beginning, when Trump first got in office second term, he was talking about Panama. He wants that canal to control trade. See what I'm saying? It's all about control with these people that they don't know how to control, because these are lying children who can't control their greed. Unfit to rule. Let's go. Let's get some scriptures. Okay, here you go. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which is that shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. It's the same play with these people. If you got something they want, your name is gonna pop up out of nowhere in conversations with these people. And then they're gonna slip little lies in here and there about you. Slowly but surely demonizing and lying on you. Then it's gonna be a big lie. Then they're gonna start crying about regime change. He's not doing his people good at all. They're over there murdering Christians. We got to do something about it. You murdering Christians here. See how they set the lie up first? But it's always a resource they want. Or the land itself, just like Greenland. He lied and said he needed Greenland for security. No, you want Greenland out of greed and covetousness. Keep going. Let's go to the book of John. Chapter 8, verse 44. Read letter Lord Yahweh speaking. You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. That's projection. Accusing you of stuff that they're actually doing. That's projection. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, not wearing who is he. That's why all this wickedness is allowed. That's why the ICC ain't did shit. They scared of the United States too, let's be honest. Because who's the original terrorist? United States. You got judges' houses blowing up. And now the United States government is threatening the ICC with sanctions because they don't want to be investigated. Does that sound like a God-fearing Christian nation to you? No, that sounds like a rogue state to me. The United States always been a rogue state by definition, doing what the hell they want to do, ignoring international law. Yeah, that's the United States. And ignoring foreign treaty, ignoring all this shit, doing what they want to do. That's a rogue state. The rogue states get dealt with. Psalm chapter 73, verse 5. They're not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Exactly. That's a rogue state. They have wreaking all this havoc, bringing all this death, violence, and destruction. And they're not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Verse 6, therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, and violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish, and they still ain't satisfied. It says that in Habakkuk. Verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Verse 9, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walking through the earth. That's that lying-ass media. Everybody believe everything this lying-ass media says. Well, until recently. Until the prophets, starting with the elders, the apostles, the bishops, until they came on the scene and started giving you the real skinny on what's really going down. Now let's go to Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, always in other people's country, trying to tell them what to do. Who enlarges his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. That right there disqualifies you from being fit to rule. And plus many other reasons. But gather unto him all nations and heap it unto him all people. Can't be satisfied. That's why if the Lord wasn't coming back, this man would kill everybody and everything on the planet, literally. Book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men, the bottom of the barrel, Esau, Edom, the lowest of the low, the default character with no special powers in video games. That's E. Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. See, when he take a pen and a piece of paper and give himself permission to take your shit and call it law, yeah, that's that. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. The Lord about to break this man forever. He ain't gonna never rise up again, because the Lord gonna break his pride. That's the only thing, that's one of the few things that's keeping Esau going, his pride and his sword. When those two are broken, you ain't gonna hear a peep out of this bitch. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence. There it is. And houses and take them away, so they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Now, a man's land is part of his heritage. And what's even more, what's in the ground in that land is that man's heritage. So Esau is stealing way more than lives and land. He's stealing resources. He's stealing heritage. He stole our whole identity. There's nothing that this man is not able to steal. He managed to steal some of our people's souls. Master thief. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Chapter 10. Verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. He want everybody's stuff. For such as one said of his own soul himself, because while he liveth, he cast away his bowels. Nothing is sacred with this man. Everything's for sale. He'll sell his mama and call it profit. Now let's go to chapter 11, verse 31. For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy of praise will lay blame upon thee. It's the immigrant's fault. Your farm is going under. It's the black people's fault. You know, always lying on us. Verse 33. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual blot. Chapter 12, verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not altogether been wiped away. That word never, trust thine enemy, that word never is there for a reason. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words to be pricked therewith. Verse 16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to railroad you to jail. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. That's why it says never trust thine enemy, because this man is a pretender. Smile in your face, all the while he want to take your place. Backstabber. That's this dude. That word never is there for a reason when it says never trust thine enemy. Let's see what else we got. Chapter 13. Okay. This is Sirach chapter 13, verse 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee barren, not be sorry for it. Just take your shit and act like he ain't did nothing wrong. Verse 6. If thou have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Trying to bribe you. As if you got something he won't. But if you don't have anything, he will forsake thee. He ain't gonna waste his time. He gonna try to hustle somebody else. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will it be good? He shall not take pleasure in all his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. The envious man have a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despises men. Yeah, this is Esau. Always declaring wars on stupid shit. Man, sit down. War on drugs. War on terrorism. What, you declaring war on yourself? Because you the terrorist. Always has been. Verse 9, a covetous man's eyes not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. Exactly. He's never satisfied. That's why he's unfit to rule. I mean, with a childish-like greed, a childlike greed. That's an understatement. Just greedy as a child. What's wrong with y'all? Let's go to Proverbs. We want it all. Well, what you gonna do with it all? We don't care. We just don't want you to have it. Childish. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 10. The soul of the wicked desire evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. Exactly. When Esau's neighbor looks at him, he knows that Esau hates him. Because that's all this man is. This man is a walking meat bag of hate. And don't forget that he's a liar too. Psalm chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Psalm chapter 37, verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh the slain. Go to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16 and 17. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Exactly. Go to Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest. Spoil mean to rob. And was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they deal treacherously not with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. When thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. That's why all these other nations are gearing up. I think China, I think they recently activated their ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, meaning these missiles can go from China to the United States. And y'all remember that scripture where, paraphrasing, the arrow shall go from one end of the earth to the other end? Those are intercontinental ballistic missiles. Intercontinental, between continents. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 59. In fact, let me see if I can find that actual scripture first, because I need to know where it's at, and y'all do too. I think this is it. Let me see. Yep. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. And when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, I don't think that's it. It might be it. I might be wording it wrong. Hold on. Okay, that might be it. I might probably thinking of something else. But let's keep rolling. Yeah, Isaiah chapter 59. Let's get that one. And we'll start at verse 6. Now remember, these scriptures were originally written describing the two-thirds of Israel, but you can easily apply these scriptures to Esau because this is where the two-thirds get this behavior from Esau. So it originates in the spirit of Esau. Verse 4. None calleth for justice, nor any pleaded for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. Esau. Verse 6, their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. There it is, innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings that have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. That's why anybody who has any business dealings with the United States ends up regretting it because they always get stabbed in the back, get betrayed, get lied on. That's how he get down. That's why it says never trust thine enemy. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. That ain't talking about nobody but one nation. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. The time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. You're done, E. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 5. And this for all them people who still think Esau got a chance. I doubt it. For this ye know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, there it is, who is an idolater, have any inheritance in the kingdom of Hamashiach and of Yahweh. Who put the sea in covetous? Esau. Verse 6, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. You're done, E. And you 2/3. Let's go to Psalms. We'll get a few more close. Psalms chapter 137, verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Well, let's go up to 7. This King David. And he's asking the Lord to not forget the sins of Edom. Verse 7, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the days of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. They was chanting, burn it down, burn down our temples. That's what race it means, burn it down, destroy it. Verse 8, O daughter Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. And I promise you, this is how every sincere Israelite feels toward the nation of Edom. Fuck the dumb shit. And if you don't feel that way, take your soft ass over to the Yah Israelites or the Christians or wherever. The Lord said himself that we would be a sharp thrusting instrument. We would become his weapons of indignation. So if you soft, you got love for the nation of Edom, you want to forgive them, this ain't for you, bruh. Because the Lord about to pull up and do damage. He ain't finna give out no hugs and kisses and forgive everybody. No. I don't know what kind of Bible you reading. Let's get one more. So if you too soft, too weak for this, the Christians got a place for you. And they gonna lie like hell to make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So if your little feelings can't take it, take your ass over there with the soft line ass Christians. Call Allah Yimla, Allahai now Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Wa Malaki by Hashem, Harawat Wakakurash, Barakathum, the water Bible Bar Wakwam Yasharala. Shalom.